Good morning, everyone. Glad you stopped by. I'm ready for a cup of coffee. Let me sit down and we'll visit a while. Pour myself a cup of coffee. While y'all here, let me tell you about my Earthwise 8.5 amp 11-inch tiller. I bought this little tiller just to do my little raised beds and my in-ground beds. Like right now, I'm freshening up my beds with some compost, and I use this little tiller just to mix it in. And to me, that's what it ought to be called. It ought to be called a soil mixer, not a soil tiller. I've had it a little over a year now. It's a pretty good tiller. I went with electric because no more often than I use it. I didn't want one that runs off of gas and it's set up and won't crank when I get ready to use it. So that's a plus for the little fella. There's other ones on the market out there. And when I was looking for one, I just looked through reviews and stuff, and this one really wasn't no better than some of the other ones. But I chose to go with it. I come across it on Amazon or eBay, I think Amazon, for less than $100 when I got it. Now I think they're up around $130 or so. There's my little dog Drake. He's out here trying to help me today. But it ain't a whole lot to talk about. It comes with the wheels. You can pull a little pin there and raise the wheels up when you want to till. And they lock in place like that there with a little button right there. You push the lock back down and then put the pin back in it. But I'm going to demonstrate it here in just a minute for y'all in case you out there looking for one. If you want a little tiller for something like, if you're going to be doing raised beds or in-ground where your soil's already soft, this is okay. But now if you want something to till your soil to make you a little garden, even if it's a little bitty garden, I wouldn't suggest going with one of these little mini tillers. And you'll see here in a little bit why. I'll show you on some soil that's not that hard in my in-ground garden right next to us. You'll work a while. Now if you degrassing with it or skimming the top, it's okay. It's got the handle up here on top, but you got to punch this button here before you pull the handle to get it going. It's kind of inconvenient because you got to take your left hand, reach over and push the button to hold it. You can't do it with one hand. It's kind of hard trying to do it with one hand. They could have done something a little better on that part. The handle, just unscrew. You can undo these little screws right here if you want to flip your handle down to store it. Where I store mine at, I undo this every time. You can undo it and flip it over, so that way you can store it a little better. And I think just about all of them I've seen out there do something like that. That's the only reason I went with this one over some of the other little electric ones, just because at the time I come across a sale on this one, $20 or $30 cheaper than the average. But let me give y'all just a little demonstration here in this bed how they work. They don't work like a tiller. You ain't just gonna till and walk along there with it. You basically gotta let it till and then you pull back and then it'll dig down. Pull back, go forward, pull back, go forward. That's why I don't suggest getting one of these if you want to have a tiller that you can till you a little garden spot in the ground with. Even the gas one, it still works the same principle as this. You gotta go forward, come back. And they jump around. So that's why I think they named them incorrectly. They ought to be called soil mixers, pulverizers or something, not a tiller. Only way it's gonna be a tiller if your soil is just so soft. So let me demonstrate here in this soft soil here. Like I said, all I'm doing today is adding me some fresh compost to my top, mixing this in with the old, getting ready for the gardening season coming up. You got a place here you can hang your cord. And I always grab mine with my hand up here to make sure I don't pull back on it. Put it over my shoulder or something other, which can't say that's safe, putting an electrical cord over your shoulder. Now here's what I was saying. Right here you gotta push this button and then then flip your trigger. I'm gonna flip the wheels up here. Now if y'all can see that, you notice how when it's going forward, in this soft, yeah, it's digging a little bit, but it really don't start doing its job until you start pulling backwards on it. I'm gonna, here in just a second, I'm gonna put it over here in this garden soil. And it ain't compacted, y'all, but you'll see if you really got compacted soil, these ain't no tiller you want. A lot of time them advertisements, they make everything look so great, but they working in some good soft soils with these little tillers. And that's why I'm putting this video out there to watch this before you buy. Because I hate somebody to go buy one of these thinking they can till them a little spot in the ground for start a garden. They gonna spend more time working trying to till their soil up. I could about take a pickaxe and chop up a spot and then use this and break it up faster than they gonna get it done with these little tillers. Alright, the soil you looking at here was tilled with my tractor trip tiller, a Woods rototiller, 3 days ago. So you know it ain't compacted hard. But it ain't near about like, even though it's done sit here 3 days and I think we got a little rain night before last, you can see me digging in it, that it's a little harder. And when I'm doing this, I want y'all to think about if you're trying to till you a spot up a 20 by 20 or something and see if you want one of these, or you see what I'm saying by it ain't a tiller that you really want for in-ground tiller. And you're gonna notice that when I'm going forward, it's just gonna go. And it don't do any digging until I pull backwards on it. And this is in fairly soft soil. No way near no compact, fresh ground you trying to break up. Let's flip our wheels up. Get your cord up out of the way so you won't run over it. See how it just takes off? You can't tell starting forward, it just runs, even if you hold it white. Yeah, it's jumping around. It don't do no cutting until you stop and you pull back. Drake don't like the tiller. But guys, I didn't do a spot 4 foot long and 2 foot that way. And it ain't doing nothing. That's still hard. All it's done is chopped about that far down. And this soil I'm sitting on ain't hard soil. I can go back there and get a real tiller. And I ain't talking about my rotor tiller on the tractor. But you can get a regular gas operated tiller. Front tine or rear tine. Rear tine is the ones you want if you're going to be breaking up some good harder soil making you a garden bed. I like the front tine tillers if you're going to be using it to keep your rows weeded and stuff. I wouldn't even want to try to weed my garden with this one the way it jumps around. It's going to jump up there and get a plant before you could react. So I'm going to do one more of my in-ground beds. If you can see, I got a lot of raised beds that's 2 foot off the ground. Now for what I bought this for, I like it because it's light and I can pick it up and put it right on top of them little beds there to mix my compost in. And it's very good for that if that's what you want one for. But here it is again. And this soil's plumb soft down 8 inches deep. So it's good for a mixture. Get that stick out of there. So guys, that's it. An Earthwise 8.5 amp 11 inch. You can get these, I think, in different widths. You can get a 16 inch. You can get a little narrow one. And in reality, I wished I'd have bought the little narrow one for what I'm doing with, just to mix my soil. Because here slings a lot of it out and I had to scoop it back up and put it in my beds. I think I'd have been happier with the little bitty narrow one. It's got plenty of power for using it in this soft soil as a soil blender. I will give it that. It don't choke down in what I'm doing it. But I hope this was helpful and save someone from going out buying a tiller thinking it's going to really do some tilling. Because that's not what these little fellas is about. And I don't think it matters what brand it is. A friend of mine has one of them little Midases. think that's what it's called, a little 2-stroke engine. It's just like this. Some little things ain't made for tilling on ground. So anyway, hope this saves somebody from wasting some money on getting something that they're not gonna be happy with. If you like these videos, give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Ring your little bell. All that YouTube fun stuff. Y'all have a great day. God bless.